Coming up next, it's a cross-conference showdown. It's the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints under the lights on Sunday night.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin joined by Charles Davis here at the Superdome. But Charles, these Saints, after a good run from 2017 to 2020, kind of been middle of the pack the last couple of years, 7-10 a season ago. What's their recipe for turning things around?
I think continuing the short passing game that they're known for and see if some of their playmakers can make some short passes into longer plays. And then on defense, continuing to pressure quarterbacks in the pocket. They tend to get after them pretty hard.
But meanwhile, for the Houston Texans, the future is now. They take C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State, number 2 overall, and we will see him get the nod as starter in this one.
You and I laugh privately often when teams say, well, we wanted to sit and learn. Come on, if you take him that high, play him right away, go ahead and get him started, and we'll see him do exactly that in this one.
So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And we are underway from the Superdome. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
It's going to take some time to adjust to seeing Carr running out in a new uniform. Instead of black and silver, it's black and gold. 35,000 yards and over 200 touchdowns with the Raiders. The Saints more than willing to let him air it out all game long to a talented group of pass catchers in the Big Easy.
In his 7th season now, here's Alvin Kamara. Nice footwork at the 25. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Carr going to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Derek Carr, very precise thrower of the football. What's the game plan for going up against him? You know, it used to be take away the short stuff, I know, but he's more than a dink and dunker, right?
And you are right about that. Great analysis of him because he has evolved as a thrower. Now he can push the ball downfield, but still, the number one things you want to take away, short passes, intermediate passes. So sharp, precise, and accurate, you got to set on those routes in order to cause him problems.
A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Here's Carr to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he is going to have a Saints first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Carr. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 24-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right, they want to run their offense through him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Touchdown, Saints! Michael Thomas, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Saints put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here's Tank down to return it from his end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the 2nd overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
In only 2 seasons, Stroud showed all he needed to at Ohio State. All-American, Heisman finalist, program records galore. He looked every bit like the #1 overall pick. He went #2, but Houston is thrilled to have him.
First and 10, it's Stroud. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A man coming off a great rookie year. It's Dameon Pierce. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. There's Chris Olave. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Hey, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Again, it's Kamara. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 1st down gains.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Oh, they had a good chance to get off the field defensively there. If they could just wrap up, it's going to be a 4th down. But instead, they can't get him on the deck, and he allows them to pick up the 1st down.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Carr to throw on 2nd down. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's Carr. Again, it's Johnson. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And that is no good. And this will remain a one-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 2. They run with the former Buffalo Bill, Devin Singletary. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Stroud now on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Stroud on 3rd down now. This is caught. It's Woods. Touchdown, Texans. Robert Woods, 28 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Now on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know, for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
On play action, it's Carr. Olave holds it in. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Going quickly here to Thomas. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Carr. His throw incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And Thomas has it. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. To throw is Carr. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Under a minute to go, clock running at a back-and-forth first quarter of play. Throwing on first down is Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Lutz is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. up comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Stroud. Open man is Noah Brown. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd down, it's Stroud. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. And that's incomplete.
Like what I've seen so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Carr so complete there to Thomas.
Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down. Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one on the guard, Cesar Ruiz.
Still first down.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Carr. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, it's Carr. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The hard-hitting safety, Jimmy Ward, picking up the sack that time. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Here's King. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Texans will take over. Houston set to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Stroud to throw it. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, it's Stroud. And this is going to be incomplete.
they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. 4th down. Here's Stroud. Caught by Woods. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
I'll tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk, but it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a first down, but a big play as well.
They'll run here with Pierce. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Again, it's Pierce.
Yeah, this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They'll run for it with Pierce. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Carr. Smith catches left side. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
Now Carr. This is Smith with a grab. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a 1st down.
Well, he's been a busy man in this first half. They've targeted him quite a bit, including both plays here to start this drive. And until that defense starts reacting a little better, they may just keep going back to him.
line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Trying the left side with Kamara. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 41, here's a 2nd down and 6.
Carr going to throw.
This one taken in by Olave.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8. A give. This is Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10.
Here's Carr to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Carr now to throw.
Got an open man. It's Olave.
And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans 36. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Now Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Thomas brings it in. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7.
A busy night continues for Kamara.
And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Kamara will score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he gets it to go, and we're all even. 17 apiece. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And now out comes Houston. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now. But this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Pierce with a motivated run there, and no surprise he's motivated this season. After a late injury robbed him of a 1,000-yard campaign last year, and potentially the Rookie of the Year. Even still, the 4th-round pick outplayed his slot with over 900 yards in 13 games.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 7. A give, Singletary right side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays, not to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Stroud to throw yet again here. And his throw here is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Stroud on 3rd down now. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. Carr now on first down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. They'll get this out to Kamara. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. A very solid gain of 27.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
Now a play fake. Carr. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
On play action. Now Carr. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Texans are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, fellas. Who's going to make a play? Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this. Let's go, y'all.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Carr. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Johnson. Touchdown. Juwan Johnson. As the first half is winding down. And the Saints have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. The second down throw now from Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, Stroud. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
A run by Pierce begins the second half. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, it's Stroud. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here of the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. The pass caught by Olave. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw there taken in by Smith. Well, that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they block well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On second down, Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that third down situation. For so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the first down.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, Kamara. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Prentice taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints add 6 to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because You have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Houston's offense taking over again. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Stroud. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. The throwing again is Stroud. And that will be incomplete as well.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point of the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taking it about the 16. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. That one complete downfield to Thomas. Room to maneuver at the 35. Inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The Lutz will look to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And now off to the races down the right side. Inside the 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. He'll start with a give to Kamara. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. They run it again with Kamara. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Shotgun now for Carr. And this one complete to Smith. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Touchdown, New Orleans! Making 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Saints get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. That time a 6-play drive. And it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he is really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thomas. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 87 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
A quality run by Kamara, who's the same dependable and often spectacular back the Saints drafted in 2017. Another season of nearly 900 yards rushing and 500 receiving yards.
On 1st down, Carr. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
In motion right, Olave. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
Houston set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
Stroud sets up the play action. He finds his target. It's Schultz. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Singletary here running out of the gun.
Down the numbers. There he goes.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Open man downfield is Woods.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Stroud now on 2nd down. Pass caught on the out route by Mechie.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try the option on 1st and goal.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Stroud looking to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz there to make the grab. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Now he's free to midfield. And down right around the 37. 134 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you want big runs like that at any time. Here you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's been exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain an 11-point spread. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
And now out comes Houston. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. Here's Pierce on the counter. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. The 2nd down throw now from Stroud. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Stroud off the play fake. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd down, it's Stroud. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Stroud. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans. This from 44 yards away. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Now a play fake. Carr. And this will be caught at the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Carr going to throw. Complete to Olave on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Trying the left side with Kamara. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from? Or you? And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara punching it in from a yard away. And the Saints have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Tank Dell now to return it. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. They'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. This will be complete to Mechie. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Stroud to throw it. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fielded just inside the 20. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Carr now on first down. And he wisely will throw that one away.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara.
And he'll get about 3 here, up to the 44-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On play action. Now Carr. He gets it left side to Johnson.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Throwing now is Carr. And Thomas has it. Another catch for him. He's over the 250-yard mark now for the game, and he's got another first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Evades him at the 20.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Now there's Will Anderson, the 3rd overall pick to bring him down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Saints have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because of 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here comes Dell on the return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, pass there over the middle to start things out. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up second down. Throwing now is Stroud. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. That's into the hands of Woods. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Stroud out of the gun here. That's underneath to Pierce. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
The throwing again is Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. Down inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. Here's Stroud. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now the Houston offense is going to stay out there as they'll try for 2. Stroud to throw it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Carr. That's caught by Johnson. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. We'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee.
Hey, what we got? That's what we said, what we gotta do here.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Kamara up the middle. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Keep it rolling, boys. That's it. Keep it
just about do it.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.